Hey there, good evening everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here on Sunday night to bring you the episode of Two Music Commonalities Compared. So this is a show that we do every Sunday that involves two could be two guitarists, two drummers, two bass players, two whatever, two groups, two albums from a group, two albums from different groups, any commonality that they have that ties them together, and we could do that. So, and the other thing about the show is that Ben picks these things and then I do the reviewing part. So that's what we're doing today. He's given me two bands what I think have a great deal of commonality between them: Hawkwind and Eloy. I picked arguably their two kind of magnus opus albums for the two of them. Both excellent albums. These are both excellent bands in my opinion. So we'll start talk a little bit about Hawkwind first. So Hawkwind, very spacey sound to their music, maybe coming a little bit more from the psychedelic feel to their music. Psychedelic, spacey, heavy. Yeah, all three of those elements playing a big deal in this band. With Eloy, the word spacey also applies quite a bit. Not so much psychedelia, a lot more maybe Pink Floyd sounds. They have a little bit more of a Floyd sound to them than does Hawkwind. However, they also are very heavy. Both these bands have heavy elements to their music. Not every album, but a lot of their albums have long, heavy elements, hard rock, almost metal sounding elements to their music as well. The other thing is, with the two bands, you get it's been run by two guys. One guy in David Brock in Hawkwind has been running them. Frank Borman had been running Eloy almost from the onset. So there's that commonality. You've got kind of one guy dominating, bringing in different people to play. The other thing about this band that is kind of remarkable, they both have, I think Eloy has like 24, maybe 25 albums, still making albums. They just released one recently, I think last year. Hawkwind just recently released one this year, so they have that in common. They're both still releasing albums. Hawkwind has about 36, so they both have a large volume of albums. The biggest thing about them too is that there's not a lot of change between the beginning of their career and the current status in their career. Hawkwind maybe a little bit more. They've had their elements of new waves type sound to their music, even a little bit of reggae in there at times. Very electronic, synthetic, and have taken on different names to try and qualify that music, like Hawk Lords, Church of Hawkwind, that kind of thing. Hawkwind Light Orchestra, Hawkwind Orchestra Light, where Eloy has pretty much stayed with that one name, and their albums have been pretty much the same from the beginning to the end. A little bit of a commercial sound, a little more commercial sound in the 80s, but I wouldn't call them commercial at all. And yeah, so they have those commonalities between them, and they're both pretty decent instrumentalists as well. Like, you got a lot of good stuff going on both albums. The other big thing is that with Eloy, almost all their albums, they kind of stay within that realm that's an Eloy sound. So it goes from beginning to end. It's very monotonous, very methodic and continuous. Same with Hawkwind. They're melodic, they're monotonous, they're continuous. All those elements, you'll find them on all their albums. And so they have a great deal of commonality between them, in my opinion. I think maybe the biggest difference for me is that the vocalist David Brock primarily, and some of the other vocalists that have been with Hawkwind have been pretty good, whereas Frank Borman does all the vocals with Eloy, and he's one of those, you can take him or leave him. I actually don't mind him now. At first I had a hard time with him, but I got over it. They both have some excellent album covers as well. A lot of commonality there. I think Eloy probably wins out on the album covers though. But overall, a lot of similarities, and still continuing and still making those albums, both bands. So for me, I like both these bands quite a bit. I got about 6 or 7 Eloy albums now, including a live one. I've got 3 Hawkwind albums, but I've seen many that I wanted to get, but you have to make choices, sometimes hard ones. Anyways, I hope this kind of explains the commonality of both bands, both Hawkwind and Eloy. Whereas there's actually, these are probably the most common, most similar sounding bands of a lot of bands, and there's a lot of commonalities here where not a ton of differences. Maybe the artwork with the Eloy might be a little bit better. Some of the stuff with Hawkwind is quite good. Even the inside covers are good, but sometimes they don't always choose to put the best cover up front. So anyways, there you have it. Those are 2 music commonalities compared, featuring both Hawkwind and Eloy. I hope you get to kind of listen to both of these bands. If you are looking to get into space rock, some of that Pink Floyd-ish stuff, I think these 2 bands would be the next stage in that. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please hit the like and the subscribe button. And don't forget to leave your comments about either band or something I've said or whatever you want to make in the comment section below. I try to answer, as long as it's just not an attack. If you're trolling me, I probably won't answer. Other than that, I will probably answer just about anything. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get more content from the channel. Thank you, and take care, and goodbye.